In the 21st century, power no longer comes only from guns or gold. It comes from data, medicine, batteries, and satellites. And while the West built its empire on monopolies and markets, a new force is rising, disrupting everything. This is Freedom Square News documentary. And this is The Red Disruption: How China is Rewiring Global Power. For over a century, global capitalism has thrived on one principle: scarcity. Whoever controls the limited supply of oil, of medicine, of technology, controls the price and the world. From Big Pharma to Silicon Valley, from Wall Street to Washington, monopoly and market control were the tools of Western dominance. But then came China, not trying to imitate the system, but to replace it. Did you know that nearly 80% of active pharmaceutical ingredients, APIs, used by Western drug companies are manufactured in China? In a world increasingly dependent on cheap generic drugs, antibiotics, and even cancer treatments, China isn't just a supplier, it's a gatekeeper. Western pharmaceutical giants depend on scarcity and high pricing to make profit. China, by contrast, produces at massive scale and low cost, flooding global markets with affordable generics, and threatening the very profit model of Big Pharma. That's not competition. To capitalists, that's existential disruption. For years, American companies like OpenAI, Google, and Microsoft dominated the artificial intelligence revolution. They built models in private, locked them behind paywalls, and trained them with user data most never agreed to give. Then came China. Baidu, Alibaba, and emerging national labs began producing state-backed AI, not for private control but national strategy. Capitalist monopolies once enjoyed a near-total grip on global AI infrastructure. China's response? Build its own and make it public, affordable, and geopolitically aligned. This isn't just tech rivalry. It's digital sovereignty at global scale. Space, too, is no longer neutral. Elon Musk's Starlink offers satellite internet to dozens of nations. But it's not just a business, it's a weapon of influence. When Starlink was activated in Ukraine, it wasn't just bandwidth, it was strategy. And that alarmed Beijing. So, China responded. Beijing launched its own low Earth orbit program, Guowang, designed to rival Starlink, with the aim to provide state-controlled, secure satellite coverage across the global south. For the first time, access to space isn't owned by the West alone. Electric vehicles were once a Western dream, sleek, luxurious, and expensive. Tesla was the symbol of progress. But China flipped the narrative. It subsidized local manufacturers like BYD, NIO, and Wuling, built charging stations en masse, and made EVs for the people, not just the rich. The Wuling Mini EV, retailing for under $6,000, outsells Tesla in China. And now, Chinese EVs are flooding Europe, Africa, Latin America, undercutting Western carmakers who rely on high prices and exclusivity. In a capitalist system where scarcity equals value, China is weaponizing abundance. So why are Western capitalists from Silicon Valley to Capitol Hill so afraid of China? Because China doesn't just compete. It challenges the very rules capitalism was built on. It shows that medicine doesn't have to be expensive. Internet doesn't have to come with surveillance capitalism. Cars don't have to cost $40,000 to be clean. And AI doesn't have to be locked behind the billion-dollar paywall. The West says China is building a new empire. But many in the global south see something else. A partner who offers roads, vaccines, AI, and energy without regime change. From Nairobi to Caracas, from Jakarta to Lusaka, China's model is seen as a viable alternative to decades of IMF loans, austerity, and structural dependency. Yes, China has flaws, censorship, surveillance, state control, but to many, the Western model doesn't offer freedom either, only inequality. What we're witnessing isn't just economics, it's the early stages of a second Cold War. Not between nations, but between systems. One is built on capital, scarcity, and private control. The other on state-backed abundance and global rebalancing. And in the middle stands the global South choosing, navigating, resisting. So we ask, who defines progress? Whose rules shape the 21st century? And is it disruption or decolonization? This is Freedom Square News Documentary. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments.